What is going on YouTube? This is your boy Kryptic Flash here, bringing you guys our PBL draft analysis video. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button down below if you guys like our draft picks and you enjoy watching this little analysis video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are new to join the Kryptic crew. Before we get into things here, I would like to introduce to you guys the team that we will be coaching, your Minnesota Lycanrocs. The reason I chose Minnesota for one is just because I live in Minnesota, so that made sense to me. And then Lycanrocs, it sounded cool. I went through not all of the Pokemon, but I went through quite a few, and Lycanrocs was the one. It was Gen 7, so that kind of appealed to me, and then it was the only one that really sounded kind of natural coming out with Minnesota, so that's why we chose what we chose. And then the commissioner of this league, he actually made my logo and such, so he did an awesome job. Shout out to you, my friend. This is going to be kind of just an overview of what I drafted, why I drafted it. This is disclaimer, this is my first ever league, draft league, regularly, like any kind of Pokemon competitive league. This is the first one I've ever been a part of it, so I'm excited and I'm nervous and I want to do well for you guys. I want to bring some W's to the squad, so that'll be cool. I'm gonna first go over how the draft kind of works. So each team has 800 points, and with that 800 points, you're supposed to assemble your team comprised of however many Pokemon it takes to get rid of those 800 points. The tiering system went OU at 100, BL at 90, UU 75, and like kept escalating downward just like that. And so you could either spend all 800 of your points and get 8 OU mons, or you can try to diversify it up a little bit, so you can have a little more versatility on your team, which is the route that we chose. I thought about it and I'm like, how satisfying would it be if I just drafted straight OU, and there's no challenge to that. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think there's much of a challenge if you're just drafting all OU mons. And I mean, I get it's a competitive league, and so the goal is to win, and so why not just choose the best to go ahead and have the best team? But that was not the approach we took, and I'm gonna show you guys the approach that we took right here. So we're gonna go over our picks, our first round pick. Now, I had no idea what going into this. I didn't know what kind of strategy to take. Everyone had seemed like they were experienced in the draft league format. I think me and one other guy, this is our first time ever doing it, and so I definitely feel like we might have been the underdog drafting, but I think we came up with some sweet picks, and we have some options, so I'm very happy about that. Our first pick that we ended up getting, what did we pick? 8th? We picked 8th, and it was a snake draft. So if you picked first, you would wait until the 10th person picked, and then they would go back again, and then so you'd pick first, and then you'd pick last, and then you'd pick again. So that's kind of how it worked. I hope that made sense. But yeah, our first draft pick that we ended up getting was Salamence. We ended up picking Salamence for our first round pick. Now I know there are a bunch of, like, I could have grabbed a Tapu, or could have grabbed just a nice wall, OU wall, but the reason I picked Salamence was because I wanted to establish the Dragon Fairy Steel Core, and next pick you'll see what my second pick was the main reason for my first pick. So once we get into that, it'll kind of make more sense. But I really like Salamence, and the versatility he kind of holds. You can either have him be a setup sweeper, you can have him be a stally support with Substitute and Tailwind, with Roost to have reliable recovery. He can rock special moves, he can rock physical moves, he can have that Fire Stab there for those ice types. What else does he get? Let's look at some of his moves. Let's do it. This is probably not the most professional team builder you guys have seen, but let me see. Does he get any steel moves? He gets Earthquake, he gets Defog for clearing the field of hazards, and Aqua Tail, Zen Headbutt, Wish. Like, the support is unreal, and it's just insane. He can support, he can hit you on the physical side, he can hit you on the special side, he can set up and sweep. He's got the Moxie ability, the Intimidate ability. I just thought that he was a really good, well-rounded first round pick. The second pick we decided to choose was our Mega. We decided that this season we're gonna rock with Mega Aggron. Now, I know this isn't the most popular Megas among them, but the way I like to play competitive, I like to have thick Pokemon that can take a hit and still deal damage. Like, I don't want to just sit there and take hits and have to, like, Toxic Stall. That's not how I like to play, but I like to have Pokemon that can absorb a hit and then hit you back really hard. Now, Mega Aggron, let's see, so Steel, Rock, but Steel once he Mega Evolves, so that covers the Fairy weakness that Salamence has, as well as the Ice weakness, and so I thought that and the Rock weakness as well, so I thought that they complemented each other really well. And then Fire and Fighting, and then Ground weakness that Aggron had, Salamence was able to cover those as well. And so I thought that those two complemented each other really well. I knew I wanted to have Mega Aggron on the team, and so that's why I chose Salamence for our first pick. But Mega Aggron, let's see, he is a tank, you guys. He has base, what is his stats here? Mega Aggron, let me type this in here. Let's see, Mega Aggron, his defense, base 230 defense, attack is base 140. So you guys, yes, he can take hits, but he can also dish hits out, which is just incredible. He learns, he's got great coverage with Earthquake, he's got Dragon Claw, he can learn all the elemental punches, Power Up Punch, so he can set up, kind of set up. I mean, there's no Rock Polish, so yeah, you could set this thing up really nice with Rock Polish. You could get some Power Up Punches going, and then have a speedy little Aggron on your team. I think it also learns Autotomize. Does it learn Autotomize? Let's see. It does. It learns Autotomize. So we could get ourselves a really speedy Aggron with Power Up Punch. Like, we could get some really cheeky sets here. Going week in and week out. We can change it up with the elemental punches. I can learn Dragon Tail with and Rocks. It's a rock setter, and so we could get the Dragon Tail Rocks combo to just kind of dish out damage to the squad, the opponent's squad. If they have a lot of rock weaknesses like fire or flying types, we can definitely bring Dragon Tail and be swapping them out when they don't want to swap. And so I thought Mega Aggron was a really great physical wall, and then great physical attacker that complemented Salamence and his weaknesses. Aggron covered those, and Salamence I love just because it's a mixed attacker. It has reliability with recovery, it can clear the field, and I thought that the two of them went perfectly together. Our next pick, you guys, excuse me, it had I was not planning on this being our third pick, but I started watching other coaches pick up Entei. Like, I had in my mind, I had a fire type was gonna be in my head. I had Entei, Arcanine, Infernape, and then Darmanitan. Well, as the third round was coming, I was planning on picking them fourth round, but as the third round was kind of coming to my side of the field, Entei had been scooped up, Infernape had been scooped up, Arcanine had been scooped up, and so I'm like, there's only one more fire type that I really want, and that I think would be pretty good on the team. And so we scooped up Darmanitan for our third pick. What I love about Darmanitan is he's a speedy, hard-hitting, little Infern Ape type dealio with those eyebrows, those fiery eyebrows. But he just hits like a truck with Life Orb, Sheer Force. It's got U-turn. It's got rock coverage, ground coverage, flare blitz hits like a truck. What else? What else does this Darmanitan know? I'm sorry, you guys. This is not the greatest. This is not the greatest. Whatchamacallit ever. You can run special Darmanitan. No, its special. Actually, just games. Its special attack is base 30, so no one is running on special Darmanitan anytime soon. But you could get. It's got hammer arm. You could do a power up punch setup. Sub, taunt, toxic, U-turn, willow. Like it just, I mean, I say all that, but let's be honest. We all know what Darmanitan to do: flare blitz, U-turns, rock slides, maybe EQs. Like that's what a Darmanitan does, and so that's probably what we're gonna end up doing with our Darmanitans: throwing a life orb or even a choice scarf or a choice band on it, and just letting it hit things hard, because that's what a Darmanitan does. Now going into our fourth round, I needed to complete the Fairy, Steel, Dragon Core. Fairy types, they have a great offensive move pool. They usually hit really hard, and I thought I needed kind of a more special Pokemon, seeing how we had Mega Aggron, Darmanitan hitting on the physical side. We had Salamence, which can be mixed, so physical, special. I felt like we need a really good physical Pokemon, and so the one that I chose was actually Primarina. I love Primarina because Primarina with a choice specs can wreck lives, you guys. Primarina's base, what is Primarina's base? Base special attack of 126, you guys. Now pair that with a choice specs that I believe boosts it by what, 1.5? Choice specs, yeah, 1.5. So what is that? 120, so like 180, 190, 180, 190 base special attack with a choice specs. Like that's insane. That hits like a truck. So Scald, your hyper voices, Moonblast, like that's all gonna do damage. And then the coverage that Primarina can get, and it gets priority with Aqua Jet. Now it's Aqua Jet, granted, is a physical move, and so I probably won't be using Aqua Jet. I might pull it out just in case I feel like priority is a thing that needs to happen. But it definitely can deal some blows, and it's a wall breaker is what it is. You can just slap someone with a choice spec Scald, hopefully get that burn. But yeah, I just thought Primarina was a solid choice for the special side. Really complemented my team well. It's weak to electric, but what covers electric? Really, electric is my only downfall with the 4 that we picked. What else? What else? I don't know. Poison, not a thing for Steelix. Steelix, Aggron. He doesn't care about poison. He's gonna eat up poison for days. And then grass, Salamence can eat up grass. The only thing is, yeah, that electric type can kind of get us in a little bit of a bind. But that's okay, because our next Pokemon that we picked was none other than Hippowdon. Hippowdon, I thought, was a great ground type. It's got pretty good defenses. It then throws up that Sandstorm, which boosts its special defense as well, and so it's just kind of an all-around bulky Pokemon. You can throw on AV on it if you want it to be just an all-out attacker. If you want support, it can learn Slack Off for that reliable recovery, and then Stealth Rocks so that you can get hazards on the field. I really wanted a reliable ground type that we could bring every week, and that we just know is going to deal damage and take hits. So that's the main reason we picked Hippowdon. It's just the ground types are so good. Their move pool, just Earthquake alone, stab Earthquake, does so much damage, you guys. So we needed a ground type to cover our electric weakness, but also to just be able to provide that bulky yet hard hitting Pokemon and reliable Stealth Rock setter, so that we didn't have to always have Aggron do it. We could switch it up and bring both of them, have one or both. I mean, the options, man, the options. And that's what this league is all about, is just creating funny sets that'll catch your opponent off guard and hopefully give you the W. But Let's see, what was our next pick? Our next pick was for pick number 6. We actually picked Crobat. Now I thought that Crobat was picked way later than it should be. I knew I wanted a poison type because fairies are so good. So I needed a really good poison type, and I saw Crobat there. I'm like, defogger, fast, hard hitting, could be special, physical. I thought it was going to be a great choice for us, so we went ahead and scooped up Crobat. The thing I like about Crobat is you can make it bulky. You can do physical Crobat with Brave Bird, U-turn, cross poison, or you could do special with Heat Wave, Air Slash, Sludge Bomb. I know that Nasty Bat's a thing, so give it Nasty Plot and see if you could set up and sweep. Otherwise, bulky with I'm sure it learns Substitute. Pretty sure it learns Substitute. I know it learns Roost for that reliable recovery, but let's see. Crobat. Let's see, what moves do you learn? Substitute. Learns Pursuit if you want to get cheeky with Pursuit Trap. Super Feint for those bulky Pokemon. Taunt for support. Whirlwind for same reason you would teach it to Aggron, that Dragon Tail, and it does learn Substitute, so you can just have some good fun. And then Infiltration, I thought was Infiltrator is a great ability to go ahead and get behind those subs so that your opponent can't just set up a sub and then set up on you. You break that sub right away and take that opportunity from them. So I thought Crobat was a pretty sweet add to the team. Now I did add another rock weakness, which as I was kind of looking at our team at this point, we have quite a big rock weakness with Salamence, Darmanitan, and Crobat now all being weak to rocks. So rocks are a huge deal. Granted, Salamence and Crobat can defog them away, but they have to get on the field for that to happen. And so that was the only weakness I was really seeing with this draft so far. I have a huge kind of rock weakness, but I'm hoping that Primarina, Mega Aggron, and Hippowdon can all kind of deal with that. Our next pick going into round 7, I knew I needed an electric type, because Volt Turn is so good, having switch priority between Darmanitan and this next Pokemon. So the next Pokemon, round 7, I believe it is, was Heliosk. All the like Jolteons, the what was it? I had a whole list of like Pokemon that I wanted to see. Well, all my options were just dropping, so I'm like, Heliosk, I need to pick this up, because Heliosk is a fast little bugger, and with I could get cheeky with Hippowdon Sandstream and Heliolisk's what is it called, Sandveil, so that we could hopefully be dodging some attacks and mix those two together. It's just a fast, hard-hitting special Pokemon, and it can learn both of Volt, what is it called, Volt Switch. There we go. I was having a brain fart there, but it can learn Volt Switch. It can learn U-turn in case they have a ground immunity that you're really scared about and you don't necessarily want to risk hitting or not hitting them at all and losing that momentum. So you can use a U-turn and just hit everything and guarantee the switch out. But just Volt Turn in general is just a great strategy. Can kind of keep momentum on your side of the field. It learns Surf, Hyper Voice, Stab, Hyper Voice, Thunderbolt. It can learn Thunder. With our dry skin, if we can set up the rain, Thunder, heal, suck on some good HP. But I thought that Heliolisk was a very solid electric type. Now for our next Pokemon, you guys, we ended up choosing, let me see, who was our next choice? Was Delmise, you guys. I knew we needed a rapid spinner, a reliable rapid spinner that is bulky and all. I was thinking about maybe getting Starmie, but it's like, oh, I don't want to have to rely on or bring Starmie and Primarina. Like, Primarina is crazy good, and then to bring a Starmie as well, like, I feel like that's a little bit of a repetitive in the typing. So I thought Delmise was a great great option. It learns Rapid Spin. It has 3 stabs with Steel Worker, so you can have that Anchor Shot, the Gyro Ball, and then Power Whip, Shadow Claw, Rapid Spin, and then slap a AV on that thing and you're good to go. Like, it is incredible. And what I do like about it as well is you can send it in on their rock setters who are traditionally ground and rock type Pokemon, and they're not going to be able to touch you, and you can threaten them out with the Power Whip, or if they set up rocks, you can just spin them away. And what I do love about Dhelmise is his ghost typing, because now we have ourselves a spin blocker. We can set up rocks with Aggron or Hippowdon, and then when they are thinking they're gonna spin them away, we just throw in Dhelmise and say, no sir, not today, and then hopefully get them out there. So I think Dhelmise is a great physical Pokemon. I think its move pool is a little shallow. It doesn't learn the greatest of moves, but it learns enough to make a dent. And it's, I mean, it learns an Earthquake, Brick Break. I mean, there's some diversity, so we can always knock off, which is always amazing, get rid of people's items, and Rock Slide. Let me see, because it even has base 86 special attack, which I know isn't screaming anything great, but if we wanted to, you could definitely do something with that and make it a mixed attacker of some sort to catch someone off guard. Or if there's some Pokemon that you know you're scared of, and it's got some weak special defense, you can always bring Mix just to throw your opponent off. And I think that could be a cool idea for us in the future weeks ahead of us. So I thought that was a really cool pick. I was really psyched out of my mind about it. Pretty much everything that I wanted, I ended up getting a version of. I always had options. I never got my first option. Sometimes I did, but it was mostly my second or third. But I was always okay with my second and third option. Like, it could have gone either way. I would have been happy either way. So our next pick after after Dhelmise was Gardevoir. Now I was a little nervous about waiting this long to scoop up Gardevoir, but I thought that this was a great pick for us. Speedy little, not so much speedy, but just a hard-hitting special type Pokemon. You give it a choice Scarf, and it's gonna outspeed most of your base 100s without Scarfs, and it's gonna deal damage with Moonblast and Psychic. You can give it Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power, whatever, what have you. I just thought it was a good hard-hitting Pokemon. It's got some special bulk to it as well, so if you have an opportunity, you can set up with Calm Mind and start sweeping away. But it was just one of those Pokemon that I saw him falling late, and it's like it'd be cool to put on the team. Like, it's a good Pokemon and it can do work. So that's pretty much my reasoning for scooping up Gardevoir, was just a hard-hitting Psychic Fairy. Our next pick, you guys, round number 10. Now, I had just a couple of things, literally 2 things that I had on my list that I wanted, or that requirements that I felt like I needed on my squad to go ahead and have a pretty well-rounded team. And the things I was missing was a dark type, so I could have dark type knockoff, and then a fighting type, because fighting types have very few resistances to it, and then it just has ghost as an immunity. But I figured that I would try to combat both of those. I picked Pangoro. Now, the plus side with Pangoro, I know he's not like the greatest of great fighting types, but he's got that fighting dark stab, so that he can hit the ghost. He can hit really hard on the physical side. His big weakness to Fairy, we have that covered with Aggron. Like, I really like Pangoro. He can learn Parting Shot, so you can get out of there. He can learn Bullet Punch. Pangoro learns Bullet Punch. Like, I had no idea until this past time I was playing through Ultra Sun and Moon. But it covers the Fairy weakness. You give it a choice band, and it'll just hit like a truck, you guys. It'll hit like a truck. Let's see, what kind of base stats are we rocking with Pangoro? I think it's not too bad. I don't think it's too bad. Pangoro, I know its defenses are kind of doo-doo butter, but Iron Fist as an ability, and then give him some punches, some drain punch, elemental punches, things like that. It's got base 124 attack. Yeah, the defenses are where he's slacking, with 78 for defense and base 71 for special defense. So doesn't have the greatest of defenses, but it can hit hard, and that's what we want. We want a Pokemon that can really hit hard and break down those walls that we're having troubles getting by. For this last pick, I mean, there are 2 more picks. One's a Pokemon and then one's our Z Crystal. This last pick, I thought I was out of points, and then I looked back and I had I saw how many I had, and so I had options for one more pick, and so I decided that we only had Primarina for a water type, and water types are usually pretty sweet, and so I decided to scoop up Mantine. Now, what I like about Mantine is the fact that it's got water, flying stab, and roost for the recovery. Now, Mantine, again, is a bulky Pokemon. I keep coming back to the theme of bulky Pokemon. But defense wins championships, guys. Defense wins championships. It's a bulky Pokemon. It's got roost. It can Toxic Stall. Like, that's not how I mainly want to use it. But, I mean, it's an option, you guys. It's an option. And then usually Scald, Air Slash. There's not much out of the norm. That's pretty much your basics when you're talking to Mantine. I don't know. Let's look, see what other moves that we could teach this thing. It's got Swift Swim, so there's another thing. We could throw up the rain for Heliosk, have a Swift Swimming Mantine, and then be landing Thunders. Like that sounds pretty legit. Let's see, base attack is only 40, so there's no chance of this thing being a mixed attacker, but its moves, I mean, you have another clear Pokemon that can clear the battlefield of rocks and hazards and stuff with Defog. You've got what else? I mean, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Scald, Signal Beam. I mean, just kind of random moves, but it's a Mantine. I mean, you get what you get. You've got your Air Slash and your Scald, and then 2 utility spots. So I figured that it was my last pick. I wasn't expecting it, so I wasn't gonna. I mean, I felt like I just needed another water type. I felt like it filled that spot really well. I like the flying type, although I do have a lot of flying types on the team. But I mean, flying hits hard most of the time. Air Slash could be fun with a Choice Scarf and get some flinches, but I don't know. And then our last pick, you guys, was our Z Crystal. Now, when I picked my Z Crystal, I waited. A lot of people spent their points. By the time I was getting my last picks, people were running out, and so they had been starting to pick Z Crystals before I was ready to. I really wanted the Flyinium Z for Salamence to have Z Fly. But unfortunately, we weren't able to scoop that up. I did end up scooping up the Poisonium Z as our last little pick here. I don't know, I didn't think too much of it. I thought that fairies are always kind of scary, and to have a strong poison type move could help out a lot, could really turn the tides of the battle. To be honest, it wasn't my favorite Z Crystal, and I don't know how often we'll be bringing it, but I feel like Pangoro having that 4x fairy weakness could attract a lot of attention, and for people who want to bring in a fairy type on Pangoro, I don't want to have to rely on a Gunk Shot. I want to rely on a Poison Z move that I know is going to hit, and I know it's going to deal a lot of damage. And so that was kind of my main reasoning, is that for when I do want to bring something a little cheeky, and someone wants to throw in a fairy type on me, I can be like, no, not going to happen. I'm going to body you. So that is the squad, you guys. That is our team that we will be going into this season with. I'm very excited. First season ever. I hope we do good. Let me know in the comments down below how you think that your Minnesota Lycanrocs are going to do this season. All of the other coaches, I think we all have YouTube channels. So I will always every week be posting, I will be posting their links in the description below. So you guys can go check them out, show them some love, tell them I sent you, just say hi, say good game, all that good stuff. This is more of a fun league, so it's just gonna be for kicks and giggles. If we do good, we do good. If we don't do good, you know what? Hopefully I'll have another chance. I hope so, but it should be fun. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. If you guys have any kind of just suggestions for me, I'm gonna be trying to do team builders each week. Now I'm not gonna do team builders for next week's battle because there's a lot going on and I need to figure out how I want team builders to look. And so next week we'll probably take a day, take the week off for team builders. I'll bring you guys the battle. I don't know when exactly I'm gonna be doing the battle. I want to try to upload it on Saturday so that you guys have a video 6 days a week, because that would be my goal. But we'll see when we record, and then just kind of go from there. But I plan on doing team builders, and that way you guys can offer me your input on the team, on what you think I should be bringing, what kind of cheeky sets that you would like to see. Leave those in the comments down below, just to give me some ideas, because I like competitive Pokemon. I haven't been into it in like a year and a half, and so I've taken the time off, and it's like now I'm coming back in it, and I'm nervous, and I really want to do good, and it's gonna be a lot, because you have to relearn everything. I mean, you have to learn how much this move's gonna do to this Pokemon. You're darn right I'm gonna be having damage calcs during our battles, just to see if we can you know, do some work. But that shouldn't be a problem, damage calcs. I know that a lot of draft leagues, they allow damage calcs so that you can kind of make the most educated decision that you can possibly make. But I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you are new, and that is gonna be it for me, you guys. Kryptic Flash of your head coach of your Minnesota Lycanrocs. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. It's Kryptic Flash. I'm out.